Hey there guys, welcome to TovWoWtV. In this video I wanted to just kind of give some advice, I find that a lot of players, especially in PvP, they don't know what they need to be doing, they don't play right, and so this video is mostly for the new players, and some better players might be able to get something out of it, but I just wanted to give people kind of like an intro to PvP, what's made me better at PvP, and kind of give you the tools that you need to succeed in PvP. So for starters, I'm breaking it up into three parts. Part 1 is the setup, part 2 is the mindset, and part 3 is the tools. So part 1, the setup. We're going to start with add-ons. Some great add-ons for PvP are Gladiator, LOSSA, which is an add-on that announces player cooldowns verbally. So if you play with game sounds, which I think you should, I know a lot of people don't, but personally I think game sounds are a big thing. It's just one other sense that you can have working towards being better at the game. But this add-on is great. It announces any player cooldowns that go off. So like if a paladin uses his bubble, it'll say Divine Shield, and then when it goes away, it'll say Bubble Down. And it does this for a lot of major cooldowns. It'll let you know when a Warlock Death Coils, or when a DK pops Icebound Fortitude, etc. It's a great add-on to have in PvP. To be perfectly honest, I kind of rely on it. It's a great thing to have, especially with awareness of what's going on around you and not necessarily your target. It'll also let you know things like if a mage is casting Polymorph on you, it'll say Polymorph, so then you know that you need to line of sight that mage. Another big add-on that most people have, but some players still don't quite know about it, which is Gladius. And Gladius is a frame add-on. It's great. It displays all the information that you need. It's got it basically replaces the Blizzard Arena frames with much bigger frames that are easier to read, display better information. If you CC a target, that CC will pop up next to their nameplate, and it will display the duration of that. So if I fear somebody on a DR, it'll have the little fear icon and tick down 4 seconds. It also keeps track of enemy trinkets. So if an enemy player trinkets, it will display that cooldown towards the right of the frame. It's a great add-on. It'll also announce things to you in party chat. Pretty much every arena player uses it. It's just a really simple way to target people. If you right-click a frame, it will focus that target. It's just a great add-on to have. Using other things is pretty much up to the player. It's all play style. Most of the great arena players just use the default UI, and that's because, they need to be prepared for tournaments if they go to a tournament or something. I use Bartender and shadowed unit frames, which you'll see in my videos, and I set up my interface the way that I have it set up. I think that setting up an interface is more player-based, and that you should do it, how you like. But the Blizzard UI, the thing that I don't like about it is how it displays things in like kind of the four corners, and I feel like it makes your eyes move too much to get simple information, and that's helped with those add-ons. Another thing is play zoomed out. I saw a video the other day of a warrior who was doing well, but he was zoomed in to the point where his character was the size of his screen, and like you're not aware of anything else at that point. You want to zoom out. Some people play at max distance. I think that's way too far away, because anytime you get into a place with a ceiling, it's just going to mess with your camera and you're not going to be able to see. But zoom out a fair amount, you know what I mean? If you're in a battleground, you want to have as much field of vision as possible. If you're in an arena, ideally you should be able to see the entire arena. It's basically to just keep track of your targets, keep track of where people are. Line of sight is a huge thing in PvP, so take advantage of it. Keybinds. I can't stress keybinds enough. Keybinds are huge. If you click any of your abilities, any of them, except maybe like I click my summoning portal on my Warlock, which is something that I don't even use in PvP, especially not in arena or battlegrounds. Or you can't really use it in PvP at all. But any PvP ability that you use, anything that's going to I personally use 45 keybinds on my Warlock, and that's about where you should be. You should be between 35 and 55 keybinds, depending on the class that you're playing, how many macros that you use. but macros and keybinds are huge. Keybind everything. I can't stress that enough. The game plays so much more fluidly when you have keybinds. If you're clicking, you're spending so much time moving that cursor and clicking that ability, and it's terrible. You will not be a successful player as a clicker. So keybind everything. And another big thing, if you've been playing for a long time, like I played for 3 years as a clicker, as a pretty bad player. I was not very good. And when I started changing up my play style, doing things like I'm telling you now, like zooming out, setting up keybinds, really learning how to play, I found that it was best to just start fresh with a new class. I'm not saying that you have to go re-roll to be good, but I found that I learned my other 3 classes the wrong way, and it made it really hard to start playing them the right way. And so I decided to just start playing a Warlock, and I'm significantly better at that character than my other ones. So, you know, and if you have some things keybound and other things keybound, not keybound, you know, keep start fresh in mind. That doesn't necessarily mean re-roll, but try doing all of your keybinds from scratch when you go to keybind everything, or try totally redoing your interface. If you are really dedicated and you really want to make the change from being a mediocre player to being a very good player, I recommend doing everything from scratch. Changing your UI, changing your keybinds, changing as much as you can about your character, and getting used to that and learning how to play that the right way. Because if you just continue from where you left off, you're going to struggle. So part 2 is the mindset. First of all, you want to have a positive mindset in PvP. The moment that you say, we are going to lose, or we're not going to beat this team, or this comp is too hard, you've lost that game. You immediately forfeit the moment those words come out of your mouth. You need to have a positive mindset. When you go into an arena and you see your counter comp, you need to say, well, you know, we're going to outplay them. And you just need to think that way. And even if it doesn't happen, that's okay. If you go into every arena thinking that you're going to win, you have a much higher chance of success, and you'll notice that your win-loss will go up. So go in with a positive mindset. And if you start having a long game that drags on for like 10 minutes or something against a healer that's really annoying or anything like that, do your best to stay positive. You know, I've had plenty of 25-minute games against paladins and stuff, and as long as you keep that positive mindset, as long as you keep saying, I got this, you're eventually going to win. It's all about that positive mindset. Staying calm. Anytime that you're playing and you get really into it and you start mashing things too fast and you start moving your mouse too fast, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. Take a deep breath before you go into a match. Stay calm. Play slow. You know, a lot of PvEers and a lot of players say that you need to mash your buttons and play spastically. That's not true at all. I usually press each keybind once or twice. And people who have bad latency, I understand that you need to spam your keys a little bit more, but do it calmly. Let the power come through your fingers and not through any of the rest of your body. Just stay calm, stay relaxed, stay positive, and you're going to win. And another big thing is having fun. If you're not having fun, if you're getting frustrated with the game, if you're losing a lot, you don't want to play, or you're mad at your partner, or anything like that, give up and start somewhere else. You know, if a partner's not working out, you need to leave that team and start with somebody else. It's all about having fun. The world's #1 ranked hunter right now, Brain Deadly, I've been following his channel, and they have so much fun in their games. And, you know, they're beating rank 1 gladiators and just pulling off amazing feats in arena right now. And they're just laughing the whole time, and that's the biggest thing. When you're having fun in arena and when you're enjoying the company of the people that you're playing with, and there's a smile on your face, not only is the game going to be more enjoyable, your success rate's going to increase significantly. And, you know, part 3 is the tools. One thing that I use is skillcap.com. They do offer some things for free, but a lot of it's subscription-based. It's a pretty cheap subscription. What I recommend, if you're really trying to make the change and get better at arena, would be to buy 1 month subscription. It's $5, and just gather as much information as you can in that 1 month. Watch all of the videos available, read all of the articles available, that's going to be a big help. And something that I forgot to mention it doesn't really fit into the other sections, but knowing your class and knowing other classes extremely well is the biggest thing in PvP. I know a lot of players who want to be good at PvP, but they don't know anything about the other 9 classes. All they know is their class. That's not the right way to do it. Knowing as much as you can about your class and about the other classes is critical. You should take the time, if you're really dedicated and you really want to do this, you need to take the time to go through all of the different talent trees, look at every spec in the game, read them all, understand them, understand why sometimes you get feared and you move, and sometimes you get feared and you stand still. Well, it's because of Warlock's PvE glyphed into whatever, horror, the thing that makes you stand still. Like, knowing those things is so critical because it gives you an advantage all the time. And if you go to skill caps, you can actually find an article called Know the Enemy, and it basically tells you all of the major cooldowns of other classes, what they do, when they would use them, why they would use them. It's a really great series of articles. And knowing all that, and really knowing, some people, they look at a talent tree and they understand, like, okay, this buffs this spell. Yeah, but, like, why? You want to know why it buffs that spell. You want to know how it buffs that spell. You want to know why you stack haste. Going to a website and getting a cookie cutter everything is not going to help you at all. If you go to a website or some high rank player and you copy their spec and you copy their glyphs, it doesn't help you. All you do at that point is you have this cookie cutter spec, these cookie cutter glyphs, and this cookie cutter idea of how to play. And that's really putting you at a disadvantage. If you can understand why you choose certain talents and why you use certain abilities in a situation and how those abilities affect other abilities and buff stacking, those are things that play one of the biggest roles in Arena. So it's not necessarily about pulling off the perfect CC, even though that needs to happen to play at very competitive play. But if you're just trying to make that move from being a mediocre player to a good player, that's a big thing, is learning the ins and outs of all the classes. It's a critical thing that you need to know. Another thing, I'm on Burning Blade. I play 485s, and I am the Guildmaster of Vehicular Gnome Slaughter on Burning Blade Horde. If you are a player that's just starting out, or you've been playing for a while but you want to take your game to the next level, we are always welcoming new players for PvP. I've been known to spend lots and lots of time with players that I like but who are also not very good at the game, and sit down with them and give them everything they need to succeed. I've sat down with players and redone their spec with them, explain them why I'm changing it, redone their interface with them, explain them why I'm changing it, redone all their reforging, explain that. It's all about explaining things in this game, I think. A lot of people just are given information and then use it, but they don't know why they're using it, they don't know why it's beneficial, they don't know how it affects them. And that's the biggest thing. So don't be afraid to continue progressing this game. If you need help, there's people out there that are willing to help. You just got to search really hard to find them. And a great place, like I said, to go is Skill Cap. There's a bunch of gladiators that post videos there, and they basically teach you pretty much everything you need to know about PvP. But try not to get discouraged. There's a lot of not so nice players in WoW these days, and just stick with it. If you really want to progress and you really want to succeed, don't care what other people think. Just take the advice that's given to you. Go through and actually keybind everything. Don't just tell yourself that you're going to do it later. Like, you're not helping yourself if you do that. So just don't let people get you down. Stay in a positive mindset. Laugh a little when you play this game. And that's pretty much all that I have to say for this video. Thanks for listening. If you learned anything, please leave a comment down below and or subscribe. And like I said, if you would like to join us in Vehicular Gnome Slaughter or otherwise get information from me, I would be willing to do that. You can PM me through my channel, or you can whisper me in WoW. So thanks so much, guys, and I'll see you later.